You're listening to Celebrating the Faces of Small Businesses in Dalby, a special series for Small Business Month, proudly brought to you by the Dalby Chamber of Commerce and Industry in partnership with 4DDD. This May, we're shining a spotlight on the people behind our local businesses, the innovators, the risk takers, and the everyday champions who keep Dalby thriving. Join us as we go beyond the storefront to uncover the stories, passion, and drive powering small businesses across our region. Because when small business thrives, Dalby thrives. Happy Small Business Month.
Hi, I'm Adrian Story from Dalby Chamber, and today I'm joined by Andrew Langton, a local business owner here in Dalby. Andrew runs Bi-Rite Appliances, and like many of our small business owners, he's seen plenty of change over the years in retail and in regional communities. Today we're going to chat about Andrew's journey into business ownership and what it's like running a retail store in a regional town, and how the home goods industry has evolved. Andrew, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks, Adrian, for having us here today.
Andrew, let's start at the beginning. How did you first get into retail and home goods industry, and what led you into business ownership?
Well, I've actually grown up in this industry. I've been in it since 6 months old, so
Wow.
It's been a long journey and a long time. My parents started off Oak Electrical 54 years ago now, and I've come through from being there on the shop floor after school, right through to actually owning a business in Oakey to start with, and then out here in Dalby.
That's very good. It's interesting how it becomes a family thing.
It's been very important to us to make sure that we've got a family legacy going on with it, and it sort of gives a bit of background to what we do in our industry and things like that, plus lots of knowledge that people need to know when they want to purchase something at the same time.
Retail has changed dramatically over the past decade, especially with online shopping becoming so prominent. How have you seen customers' habits shift during your time in business?
There has been a big shift in the way people are doing things these days. We've seen probably the main appliances like your fridge, washing machine, TV, things like that. People still want to come in, touch, feel, see what they're going to get before they actually purchase. But there's still a lot of appliances, especially the small things like kettles, toasters, irons, things like that. A lot of that has gone to online. We have been very proactive in trying to make sure that we're catering for that at the same time. Between both shops, we're up to about 11,000 orders in small appliances these days, and we're shipping all over Australia.
Wow, it's interesting what local businesses do online, actually. It's quite eye-opening. So running a bricks and mortar store in a regional town, it comes with both opportunities and challenges. What do you think makes regional retail unique?
I think it's having that personality and being involved with your community, having a base with customers where they can come in and trust you to actually do the right thing, give them the right knowledge, and making sure they're going to get their purchase, plus being there to help them out as much as they can in the background if anything does go wrong.
Yep, so it's all about relationships.
It certainly is. I think it's a really important part for any country towns to make sure that you've got those relationships and building those relationships as you go.
Technology in home appliances and electronics move so quickly. From your perspective, what are some of the biggest challenges you've seen in products themselves over the years?
I think the biggest thing these days is, and I think we discussed it a little bit further before we started this interview, finding products aren't lasting as long as they used to. I think that's been a major aspect that we've seen in such a change, people walking in still and saying, oh, my fridge died after 20 years, and to tell them they're not going to get a fridge to probably do that anymore, that's probably a hard thing to do. The technology increasing in what appliances do, it used to start off with TVs and things like that with all the streaming, the AI, that sort of thing. It's sort of filtering right through the house now through your fridges, washing machines, air conditioning, everything like that. You can actually control everything with your phone these days. Sometimes I'm an old retailer, sometimes I look back at that and go, is that a good thing or not?
I wonder that. I know a few things I can control from my phone and then I just don't because I think, why should I?
That's exactly right. No, it's one of those sort of things with the perspective and that type of stuff of where it is all tracking. Later in the track, it'll probably all think for itself where you don't have to do any thinking, and I don't know if that's good for us or not.
As a small business owner, you're not just focused on sales. You're leading a team, managing stock, handling finances, and staying connected to the community. How do you juggle all those responsibilities?
At times it's quite difficult, but it's one of those sort of things. I've got a very good support base. My wife and my kids are always there at home to make sure that I'm being looked after there, which has been a big thing in that sort of respect. Having parents in the business, I can bounce off them at different times when I need to in that sort of respect also. Plus having good staff. That's one thing that we've always worked on, is trying to have good staff balance that is always there to try to implement everything that you're trying to bring through your business, which is changing quite dramatically these days. You've got to keep changing all the time. where probably even 10 years ago you could be fairly stagnant for a fairly long period of time, but you can't anymore. It's trying to make sure that you're out there in the community as much as possible as well, promoting and things like that. I think people don't realise how much small business actually brings back to a local community in that sort of respect compared to big organisations.
It's huge, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. It's amazing what businesses do in town and how they contribute. And like yourself.
It definitely is, yes.
So it really comes down for that it's the people, your network, your support group.
It certainly is, and even bouncing off other people in small business at the same time as well, other electrical retailers, local people as well. I think everyone's got the same challenges and things like that at different times, so it's quite amazing when you start talking about it, how many people are in the same boat at the same time.
Okay, there's often talk about the importance of supporting local businesses. So from your experience, what impact does community support have on a small retailer?
I think I touched on it a little bit in that last question, but I think more people that can shop with small local businesses and things like that, I think the more that they can support us, the more we can give back to the community at the same time. I'm a big believer in that big corporates and things like that. They like getting their name out there and things like that, but giving back to the actual community and being involved in the community, I feel that they just don't do enough, but where the small people actually do quite a bit.
Generally, people live around their community if they own the business, so they want their community to be better.
That's correct. You want to build your towns that you're involved in and things like that and see them thrive and prosper.
Looking back, what are some of the biggest lessons you've learnt as a business owner?
I think probably one of the biggest one is adapting to new technologies, making sure you're trying to keep up with trends and things like that as they're developing, not being stagnant, trying to make sure that you're improving your business all the time. It's one of those sort of things that I think if you just stay the same, you're dead in the water these days. You've got to keep evolving, keep growing and things like that at the same time, but still have that connection with your community to make sure that you're giving that personal touch as much as possible.
I'd 100% agree with that. You've got to keep changing and keep in contact.
Definitely.
Okay, for anyone listening who might be considering starting their own businesses, whether in retail or another industry, what advice would you give to them?
I say do your research. It's really important to know what you're going to do, if it's got a market for it, what you're going to need, fund-wise, for staffing-wise, things like that. And don't be scared to start off smaller and then grow, because at times it could be one of those things that you grow too quickly and then it gets overawed what you'll have to do and things like that. And it can take a toll on yourself personally and your family at the same time. So it's mainly making sure that you've got all your steps in place before you actually start on a business. But it's one of those sort of things, get out and enjoy it. Make sure you're starting something you're going to actually enjoy.
That's very good advice. You've got to enjoy what you do.
That's exactly right.
Andrew, thanks so much for sharing your insights today. It's always great to hear stories behind the people who keep our local business and community strong.
No, I'm glad to be here. I love the opportunity to be able to come here and talk and get our message out there to people at the same time and give some advice as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to The Faces of Small Business. In places like Dalby, local businesses aren't just shops. They're the lifeblood of the community. This joint project by the Dalby Chamber of Commerce and Industry and 4DDD shares their stories. Tune in next time and celebrate the folks who keep our town rolling strong.